Massey Dave, another day, another Dave. It is Wednesday morning. Thank you for coming tonight. Yeah, we're down here. We're going to set to clean up the faces of that, clean up the faces of that, and get that bit bolted back onto that bit. Say now we've got all the pump and everything back in there. See what else happens. Right, so we've got the old gasket removed off of there, new one in place, just a couple of bolts through to hold it. Faces of that all cleaned up, both sides. We'll get that lifted up and bolted back on there now. And then, yeah, we'll progress with something else. Right, we've got the clutch pedal here. We'll just say, add it over on the wire wheel. Cleaned everything up. We're going to just have the grinder and cut some new slots into that just to put a bit more, you know, where it's worn over the years. Just to freshen it up, make it look a bit more not so worn. Well, that tested the old brain cell, remembering which way and where bits went. We've got one for the handbrake there, clutch there, or clutch pedal up like that, and then the plates here for the footrests, or foot plates that will go back in here eventually. Right, well, I wouldn't bore you doing up all those nuts and bolts, but that lot's back together. We will whip this off in a bit and give it a good clean up underneath everywhere. Right, the next thing I want to do is gearbox. I'll get the forklift in, get that outside, because I want to give that lot in there a damn good steam cleaning and get rid of all that dirt and grime. I've got some of it out, but steam cleaning wouldn't hurt. Well, I'll say that's looking a damn sight cleaner in there. Worth doing. Good dose of degreaser, good steam cleaning. We can see what we're looking at now. So we've got to replace that thing because it's a bit rumbly. Got it in, sat on my stand, just a bit easier to work on rather than have it just hanging on the crane. It's, yeah, not going to go anywhere, and if we got to go any further than we really need to, it's in a good place to do so. Getting into this now, we got that part removed. Yeah, rather rumbly. Just looking at that end seal on there, you probably won't see it too well. I was trying to focus in, but there's a little bit of play in the bearing, not a lot, but be prudent to change that seal wire in here. So I'll strip all this out. We're going to have to take that cross shaft out for the brakes because that won't come out because it's just fractionally lower than that. By the time it comes out, it's going to catch on there. Because I remember that in that 290 that we looked at a while ago. I think he ended up just getting a grinder and cutting a groove in there just enough to get it apart, but there we go. We'll strip this out properly. Right, we've got everything stripped out. The cross shaft for the brakes, that thing's a bugger to get off, and likewise the keyway in the end of that shaft, that was a sod to get out, but we got there. We've got everything undone now. Hopefully, where's me rag gone? We should be able to wriggle this front input casting off and get it off. There she goes. So you'll notice that gear there is considerably smaller to what the 1200 1250 is, and the length is different, but at least we can take it apart and we can replace that seal in there. And we'll inspect the cast rings on that input shaft and also on that shaft while we've got it apart. So park that there for a minute. But I say prudent to do it while we're in here. But I say, looking, those rings in there, they are intact and they're still joined together. So they're good. So I'll get this bit on the bench and have a closer look at it. Well, slightly different. The circlip that holds that in on the 1200 style, you squeeze it together and it expands outwards into a bigger recess to allow the bearing to come out. This one you've actually got to take the thing out. Anyway, shaft's out. Those cast sealing rings there, they're still they're good and together. As you can see, that is a difference in the shafts. That's 1200, 1250. See a considerable difference in the size of the gear. Predominantly, where that bearing sits, this lot is pretty much the same, I would say, and up to where the end of the housing sits with the seal and roller bearing, but it's the length is here, which is different for the clutch, for the input for the PTO. So that's the difference between those two. Again, the housing pretty close, but I expect there is a slight difference. So yeah, we'll get, and again, on the early 1200s, which is a bit similar age to what this is, it was a metal bush in there, not a needle roller bearing, whereas this has got the needle roller and the seals in there. So we'll get that whipped out, new one back in, and this can be reassembled. Right, that's the old seal out. We have a new one here, as if by magic I had one in stock. So that should just fit in there nicely. Let's get it squished down in the hole, and then we can reassemble this lot back together. Right, that's back together. You can already see there's a lot better fit on that seal compared to the old one. And so there's definitely a little bit of wear in that, because that is now sat nicely all around there. So same procedure for putting it back together as taking it apart, just in reverse. So carefully put that over the shaft, get the bracket out the way for the multi-power lever. And all we've got to do now is just get the teeth meshed up on the gear, wiggle it in, make sure the bolt holes line up, which they should do. We want long one there, not quite lined up, a little bit of persuasion on that, twist it round a tad, nearly there, that's it, and they can go back together. There's me socket, put that on there. And so the oil seal effectively is a big O-ring on the back, so shouldn't need any instant gasket or anything on there, because it's on an O-ring. Going together all right on the bottom there. We've got a washer to go in on the top one before the bracket. So, nice tidy little job that we're doing with washer. Where did I put that? There he is, down there, hung up on the floor. Pop that over there. Just got to make sure you get the lever lined up on the actual multi-power valve. Push that up a bit. Get that located in the back there, because if you don't, nothing will work. Push that up a little bit. There, that's located in there. Tighten that up. And then it's all back together, one pipe connects up. Then we can put all the cross shafts back in. And that's one seal replaced. Make sure they're all tight. We don't want to come back in here again at all. Make sure that works. That moves up and down and pulls the valve in and out. Lovely. Right, one pipe to go on. Right, I'll fiddle around and get this lot back together. Right, new thrust bearing fitted, clutch release bearing. Got to admit, that doesn't make a sound compared to the old one. So let's get that shoved in there. It's all back together, finally. It's taken a little while, but seal done, thrust bearing done. Yeah, check the cast rings. Happy days. Top cover dragged out. We're going to clean some of this greasy crap out of here. Make it a bit cleaner and tidier. But yeah, I think that was the root of the problem for that lot not working. I say she'd be looking a bit cleaner now. We've got all the crud and dirt off from inside. Let that drip dry and deal with it tomorrow. Or have a look after I've done the MOT on that truck. Hey folks, Thursday morning. Just getting ready to go for MOT. We've got the girl fired up. Just doing a walk round and checking all the lights and everything are functioning as they should do before we leave. So yeah, we've got my tools put in and I don't have any warning lights on, which is a bonus. We like no warning lights. So yeah, let's get ready to hit the road. Alright, well, let's turn that down a minute. Right, we've just got here. All okay, no warning lights, happy days. So we've got two trailers, but I might be able to sneak in front of this one. Fingers crossed. From MOT, we had locks on all the brakes. Brilliant job. Pass. So yeah, we're back. Wheel trims need to go back on. I need a cupper first. Let's get back to this. We've got the gearbox here, which we dealt with yesterday. Bits and pieces. We're going to get that hopefully slid back and lined up on there and bolted back in place. That's the plan at the moment. Right, here we go to get this back in. I have my assistant wifey over there on the chain. Go on, give it a tug. I'll get all this lined up. Hang on a minute, hang on. Hang on. Let's get what we gotta do? Down a bit, I expect. Right, that's down. Now we gotta get all the shafts lined up. That's one in. Go on, give it a bit more of a pull. Hang on. Oh, something's happening. What are we doing? We've got to go down a little bit. And I need a torch. Need a torch to see what I'm doing in there. What we got going on in there? We got what's in the shaft. That's good. We're on that one. We're pretty close, I reckon. Go on, give it another pull. Rope. Get the splines engaged on the pump. I can't see. It's close. Go on, give it another pull. That'll do. Suddenly go. Can't quite see where we're. That's it. Yes, we've got it. It's slid together. Now we can get all the bolts in. Well, that's all bolted back on there. Now we've connected the pipe up for the power of the feed for the multi-power. Now we're going to get this wheel off, try and get that trumpet off, and have a look at the brakes. I had somebody busy with sandpaper going over some of this, but camera shy, aren't you? Yeah. So let's get on and get this wheel off anyway. Wheels off. Got a bit more access to things now. We need to get brake slave cylinder, well hardly a slave cylinder, but that part off, diff lock off, undo the bolts. So the crane's on there already. For it to come off, definitely need a hub seal on this side, so I knew that was leaking. Right, well we got the drain plug out the hub, and on the end of there's some silvery bits, and you can see there's some silvery bits in the oil, so God knows what's happened inside this one. Certainly know that the seal's gone, so you can see the residue there of oil, but yeah, not very good. Right, well we got this lot off while we're waiting for that lot to drain out, and you can see there's still a fair bit of oil sat in the bottom there of the brake chamber part, should we say. But all the bolts and nuts have come off, even the nuts have come off the studs, which makes a change. So I'll let that finish draining off, then we can hopefully pull this off, catch the oil that comes out, because there's going to be a little bit, because it obviously doesn't all drain through for some reason. It should be most of it out of there, but it's not. Right, let's set to, see if we can part this one off of here. Not moving at the moment. We're going to need a bar in there and give it a bit of a pry off. Well, she's taking a bit to get moving, but it is coming apart. I'm going to give it a fair old few good coats with the chisel to get it to come adrift, but it's happening. Finally. It's like doing a 1200, but not 1200. Come on, out you come. He's catching on. Catching on something. Oh dear. It'll just fall off. But this one's not. For some reason. There we go. She's free. Free. Right. You come over. Settle you down there. On the floor. And then tip it up. And get into it. Right. Let's get her stood up. Right, we've got that stood up. Out the way. What have we got in here? What delights. Just dirt and gunge. How there, look at that. That is like grease type gunge. Lovely. Right, we've got the pin out the diff lock. That's removed. We've got the two retaining screws out. Now we just need to get that pried up and lifted off, which I do with my big screwdriver. Where do I hold that up to? Always the case, you use something, put it down, then can't find it. I had it a minute ago. There it is over here. Right, left it. Now let's see if we can get this off. And hopefully there's going to be no nasty surprises on the brake front. We'll live in hope. Oh, come on. Off you come. You will come off. Go on. Pinch me fingers. Let's just catch it. Oh, sticking. Oh, we're off of that. You're just catching on the splines or that. Really been awkward thing. I know this side can be a bugger to get off, but this one has been particularly trying. Sent to try me, I tell you. Come on, help me out here. Come on, just come off, please. That's better. No, not quite. Go. That's better. Yeah, nice. What can you see? Anything delightful? That's hot. Put that down there. Lovely. The joys. Don't need that one. Well, dirty, but yeah. We have a reason like a gunge. Look at that. Nice. They shouldn't be stuck on the shaft because it's wet brakes. And all looks like 1200. The whole lot of it. Or 1250 as well for that matter. Right, so everything's come out okay. Needs a damn good clean up. Obviously the oil that was left in there is now down there. And obviously we drained the oil out of that. So we can pull that shaft out, let that oil go into the end, clean everything up, hopefully reassemble it. Hopefully I've got some big O-rings for here. And put it on, then we can drain the oil out of that again and take the end off. But so you need to clean that up, clean this up, and then reassemble it, because there's nothing wrong with those, they're like brand new. Little jobs come in, door stay on this truck, bolts are sheared off. One there is another one a bit higher up, it's going to be a bugger to get to, but drill down into the bolt. And we're going to get one of these, beat in there, and see if we can get that broken bolt extracted. I could say we have success on the first one. We've got it out, thankfully. So one more to go, an awkward one a bit higher up. The second one's proving a bit of a bugger, so I've done what I can. I'm going to just go through with a 5mm. I'm going to tap an M6 thread back in it with that. Got there in the end. Right, trim's back on. We've got some new nuts, washers in there. So let's get this trim put back together and the rubber over the thingy. Another little job done. Back to this little beauty. We've cleaned out everything in here, pulled the half shaft out, which is all nice. There's no rust on or anything on it. Oil's drained down the bottom of the hole there into the reduction hub, so we get that out later. So we'll give that a wipe round in there, drop this back in, and we can bung that lot back in. And see if we got a couple of new O-rings to go around that. And that's quarter of the way there. It was all cleaned up. We got the new O-ring put round there. That lot's back in. So we'll flip this on and get the bolts and the pins and everything back in place. And that'll nearly do for today, I think. But I've got that bit back together. Got some clamps on there because the new O-ring. Just need to get it squished in so we can get the screws done up tight. So I'm going to call it a day. Thursday. Nearly beer o'clock. So watching. Click the old like and subscribe. Get the like button if it's still there. Much appreciated. Drop me a comment. I'll get back to you. So until next time. Take steady. Catch you later.